Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Just Us There Being Real. I hope you've been okay. I hope you're doing great. Okay, so I'm so glad to have you guys here. Once again, this is the fifth video here on this channel. I am excited that we are progressing. Thank you so much for sticking with me and thank you so much for trusting me. I'm really grateful. So today we're going to be doing something a bit different outside the usual, but trust me, it's going to be so nice. So truthfully, I planned on something else. Like I planned to talk about something else today, but I just went through a video today and I discovered something that was really a bit, I don't know, it was a bit concerning to me, and I felt that I should share it with you guys because it's something that most persons unconsciously suffer from and we're not aware. So I just want us to talk about it. So we do have a question for today, so we're going to look into it now. The question is, Austia, you talked about passion. Don't you think trend affects passion positively? The answer is yes. Trend affects passion positively and negatively. So let's not forget the negative aspect of it. Because trends are dynamic. What is relevant in today's society might not be relevant tomorrow. What seems important today might not be important tomorrow because something better. The world is like a moving train, right? So it just progresses. New things keep coming up. So you can't dwell in a particular thing and you can't let a particular trend determine your passion, right? So there's this particular statement I love and it's in the Bible. Wisdom is profitable to direct. Be wise. Be wise to know when to go into something and when to go out of something. It's like the crypto market, right? It's like trading generally, right? So I know it's about risks and this life is all about taking risks. If you want to be successful, you have to take risks. But at the same time, you need to be wise. It's like trying to study the market very well to know the right time to trade and the right time not to trade, right? So the losses will not be, so much. And at the end of the day, you're just going to lose out in so many things because you're trying to follow a particular trend. However, you forget that the world is going forward and you're just trying to be static. You can't be static in trend because trends itself are not static. So you just have to be wise. You have to be strategic in your plans. You need to sit down and plan properly to make sure that this trend will not also affect you in a negative way, even if it will to a little amount. So that's all I have to say. That's the only question we're going to be taking for today. So we have to dive straight into what we have for today. So our topic for today is fear. Yeah, we're going to be discussing about fear. I have a couple of things written down here to share with you guys about fear. Remember, this is an impromptu speech, I guess. Yeah, it wasn't really planned, but it just came up. So I'm going to begin with throwing a question to you. What is fear? What is fear? I know if you were to reply me at this moment, you will give me countless definitions of fear because fear is, it's a universal based concept, right? And to me, fear is more of an individual concept than a more general concept because what is fearful to someone might not be fearful to you, right? What someone will count as fear, you might not count it as fear. So for that purpose, we're just going to dive into what we have for today. So we have different definition of fear, and I got this one from the dictionary, of course. So fear, according to the dictionary, is an unpleasant emotion caused by the threat of danger, pain, or harm. Mark the word or mark the statement unpleasant emotion. Psychologists has also said that fear is an emotion, a protective primal emotion as a result of harm, right? And also fear to me it's a product of our mindset of how we think, right? So most persons have argued, most psychologists, most philosophers have said that fear is an emotion. Yes, fear is an emotion, fear is a feeling, right? But to me, I would also say that fear is not just an emotion. Fear is a being. Fear is like it's like a replica of our being. Fear is like having another self that literally opposes everything you do. That is fear to me. Now, why did I come to this level? Because I've gone through some kind of things in life and I've discovered that fear can't just be a feeling. No, it's more to being a feeling. Fear is actually a person because fear speaks to you, right? Fear speaks to you, and believe me when I say that the voice of fear is louder than the voice of courage. It is always at a higher pitch than the voice of courage. I have this stuff for you guys here. I would say that fear tells you 99 reasons why you shouldn't do something, and courage just tells you 90 reasons why you should do something, to show that fear speaks louder than courage. Now, most persons have told me that fear is not all bad. Remember, to all negative, there's always a positive attached to it. That is a very beautiful contribution. But at the same time, we should also know that the nature of fear itself is in the negative. So even if fear can be used as a drive, as a source of motivation to achieve something, if you don't properly manage it, you might end up going down the well, because the original nature of fear is to actually bring you down, is to the negative, it's not to the positive. So fear, if fear was to motivate you, it's going to motivate you 20%. The other 80%, it is more of a limitation than a motivation. So I have this definition of fear by my favorite psychologist, Sigmund Freud, and I'm going to be reading it for you. He said fear is a product of our mindsets. Fear is a response to an external danger and the expression of an instinct of self-preservation. Fear is like a galaxy of its own, it's like a world of its own, and it welcomes you in. And when you're there, it tries its best to keep you at that point. And it always tells us this lie. This lie, it tells us every single time. And this lie is you have to protect yourself. And that's what Sigmund Freud is trying to talk about, an instinct of self-preservation. You're trying to protect yourself, but at the same time, you don't know that you're limiting yourself. I mean, haven't you been in cases where you have the opportunity to talk, to defend yourself, to contribute something, to literally help you out in the future, but you're very scared that you don't speak very well? You get so scared that you will not be acknowledged, or your idea is going to be thrown to the ground. You haven't even done it yet, and you've already concluded. That is what fear does. It just examines everything, it analyzes everything for you, and it tells you, nah, 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 don't do this. And you end up not doing it, and you remain in that shell, in that world, in that galaxy for a very, very long time. And the world is moving, and you're still there. And most times you feel so sad, you feel so unfulfilled because you're not doing what you want to do, because you are scared. And and at the same time, you're still telling yourself that you're protecting yourself. Please don't look at me that way. Everyone does that, right? I do it. I've gotten to a particular stage in my life that I don't want to say anything, because I don't want people to think that I'm being too extra. I don't want people to think that I just want to talk. I don't want people to identify me. I don't want too much strength. It just keeps telling you this stuff. Protect yourself. Protect yourself. Why are you protecting yourself? What are you protecting yourself against? That is the lie it tells you. And you really don't have to be in that stage of your life. Believe me, it's not a good place to be. That brings us to the word for the day, which is Atychiphobia. Atychiphobia. What does Atychiphobia mean? It means the fear of failure. Yes, fear of failure. And that's where I'm really, really driving out. The fear of failure. Most of us are so scared of failure that we don't even want to give ourselves a chance. We don't want to take that step because we are scared that we're going to fail. I said earlier that life is all about taking risks. If you want to be great, if you want to be this best version of yourself, you need to take risks. In every aspect of life, risks is very, very essential. Down to that area of being lazy. It needs risks to be lazy. Or you're not aware. It needs risks to be lazy. Yeah, because you're risking your future. That's what you're doing. You're risking your future to enjoy a present that is not even certain. That's it. So Atychiphobia, which is the fear of failure, has hidden a lot of persons, most times unknowing to these persons that they're literally falling down the well, they're literally slacking behind because they're scared of what? Failing. Failing is, to me, it's essential. Most times I say to people and they're like, oh, what do you mean by that? A failure is not someone that has failed before or failed at the moment. A failure is someone that has failed 7 times and still remains on the ground. A successful man is someone that falls 7 times and still rises up the 8th time to do the same thing that made him fall, but this time in a very different and a creative way. So, show me a successful man, and I'll show you a man that has a story to tell. Success Success is not an easy part. It's a part that demands a lot of risks, a lot of failure, a lot of sleepless nights. It's literally you leaving your comfort zone. And when you're leaving your comfort zone, you have to expect that you won't have the best of the best, right? Life will not be all rosy for you, right? You need to go through some phases that you're gonna sit down somewhere and you're gonna weep and say, oh boy, I'm tired, but I got to this point. So that's it. So don't be so scared of failure that you limit yourself from taking that bold step. I told you fear is a person that speaks louder than courage, right? So the ball is in your court. You have to silence that voice of fear in you and pay more attention to the voice of courage in you and tell yourself that you can do it. Nothing is impossible, guys. Nothing. Nothing is impossible. We are the ones that make things impossible in our lives because we are not even trying. Just try it first. It might go well. Fine, it might go wrong too. But you tried. Haven't you been in a case where you tried something and you didn't get it? It's like going for an audition and you didn't make it to the next round, but people knew that you were once in this audition. Fine, I didn't get to the semifinals. I barely passed the audition, but you auditioned. Yes. And that's a step. That's a step towards success. So don't be scared of failure. Expect it. I'm sorry. Embrace it. Right? My pastor will always tell me, rather than saying something bad and jumping past it, why don't you match it and pass? That's the mentality we should be working with. Believe me, it's good. So that will be all for today. I hope you learned something today and I hope you enjoyed yourself. Thank you so much for sticking around, and please do not forget to comment and also subscribe to this channel. To have a lovely day. Bye.